Brother Plight, aka Michael Nowak, has pleaded guilty in the child molestation case. He is now being sentenced to 7 years in state prison and doing a additional 10 years in probation.
Additional terms of restitution, of which 5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody, and that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, is the defendant's counsel going to be providing probation assistance of the 5,000 being paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program, that you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Nowak. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement. in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney.
So if you are not familiar with the case, have no fear. I am going to get you up to date on what got Brother Plate in the position that he's in now. So Michael Nowak Jr., widely recognized as Brother Plate, is at the center of a deeply troubling legal matter. The 37-year-old motivational speaker and author surrendered to authorities facing allegations of sexual battery involving a 14-year-old girl in a February incident in a hotel room. So this was back in February. According to the police report, Nowak had a romantic connection with the girl's mother and had asked permission to take the teenager to an after party at a Miami club. When the club turned out to be closed, he took the girl to his hotel. Disturbingly, the report details that Nowak provided the minor with alcohol and engaged in inappropriate behavior, including groping her breasts, inner thighs, and buttocks. The allegations further state that he attempted to coerce the teen into performing oral sex. The situation escalated when the young girl reportedly lost consciousness, only to awaken with Nowak attempting to induce vomiting. Her condition was aggravated, whatever that word is, by severe swelling on her mouth and lips, suggesting a distressing turn of events. In startling revelation, the report also claims that Nowak urged the girl's mother not to involve law enforcement, asserting that it would have detrimental consequences for his career. While these are grave allegations, Nowak's defense attorney, David Tyrus, maintains his client's innocence. Tyrus asserts that once the evidence is presented, Nowak will be forgiven, categorically declaring him not guilty. The case unfolds amidst a backdrop of complex motives and hidden factors, and it remains to be seen how it will ultimately be resolved. So as you heard, he was dealing with the woman romantically, probably a girlfriend or something, and he asked could he take this woman's 14-year-old daughter to a Miami after party. First of all, what would a 14-year-old be doing at a Miami after party anyways? And why is a 14-year-old girl going out that late anyways? So that's the first red flag. Then he proceeds to take her to a hotel because the party was over. So I'm thinking there was no party to begin with. He just wanted to take her to the hotel and he had this planned out. And he did all this to this 14-year-old girl, and she's the one who has to suffer with this trauma at the end. And the crazy part about this is the day before he got sentenced, he had a whole party saying that they dropped the charges, which they didn't. And my thing is, I don't see why people are so surprised when he looked up to this dude as his God and Savior. He said he worshiped this dude as his God and Savior. And if you don't know who this is Malachi Z. York. He is known for molesting multiple kids, boys and girls.
And those sort of people make the
No,
decision.
it's not. So what's the point?
If you want to fight for
It's your
freedom,
matter of
fight
opinion
for
if you would've
fight
took the
for it
plea or
for
not.
another reason. Don't fight for it because he's innocent of a molesting kid.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually.
Okay.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny scientifically. We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. I don't identify with everything he does there, much like I believe most Christians don't identify with everything their God does, because it says their God is a jealous God, and some Christians would tell you it's not right to.
Not only that, he gave them STDs as well. And when that man straight up said he wouldn't care if Malachi Z. York had molested 1,000 kids, he would still look at him as his Lord and Savior. I was just like, man, I don't see how y'all follow this dude. I would never want to be around that dude again.
If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. I don't identify.
But I wish the best for the young girl. I hope she gets the therapy and the help that she needs. Me personally, I feel like the mother most definitely played a part in this as well, because why are you letting this man take your 14-year-old daughter out this late and to a Miami after party anyways? But she did go through authorities and she did press charges, and I think he also has to compensate the family $25,000. And not only that, as a part of his probation, he has to do some type of mental illness training, sexual deviant training. So yeah, but I will have a extended video showing the court proceeding and everything on my YouTube. So if you want to take a look at that and you want more details about this, go to my YouTube page. And yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about this.